My first Class B encounter with what people now call the British Bigfoot happened when I was a teenager, growing up in a small village in Mid Devon. I'd always been adventurous. The woods and fields of the Devon countryside were my playground. I'd stay out until dusk without thinking twice, navigating home by instinct and fading light. The forest never frightened me. It felt familiar, like an extension of home. But there was one place that always tugged at me. Across a small valley that fed into the larger X Valley stood a patch of pine woods. I'd seen it countless times growing up. From a distance it looked ordinary enough, just another dark smudge of trees on the hillside. But something about it pulled at me. Curiosity, maybe. Or something else. One day I decided to explore it. I rode my mountain bike up the steep valley side our village clung to, pushed over the top, then descended the far side and climbed toward that isolated forest patch. I didn't see another soul on the way, not unusual for rural Devon. The forest turned out to be divided by a narrow lane. The lower section was more open and deciduous. The upper section, however, was thick with conifers, dark, tight, almost oppressive. Naturally, I chose the upper section first. I found a gate, slipped through and entered along a grassy track lined by towering pines. Within seconds, something shifted inside me. I felt uneasy, and that was strange on cover because woods were my comfort zone. I'd wandered through forests at night without fear. But here the unease wasn't vague. It was direct, immediate. I felt watched, not in the paranoid sense, but in the way prey must feel when it senses a predator nearby. There was a distinct, overwhelming impression that I was not welcome. That something that considered this place its territory, did not want me there. It wasn't fear of the dark. It wasn't imagination. It was a message. Leave. Now. The feeling was so strong that I didn't question it. I turned around and walked straight back out of that section of woods. No argument, no bravado. I just left. But I didn't leave the area entirely. I crossed the lane to the lower woodland and rode a few bike trails to shake it off. I wasn't easily spooked. I didn't run home. I simply avoided that upper section, still it stayed with me. Why did that specific patch of forest feel so wrong? Why did it feel hostile? Not evil exactly, but territorial. Years later, after becoming deeply interested in Bigfoot research, I began reading encounter reports from North America. Over and over again, I saw the same descriptions. The feeling of being watched. The sudden, unexplainable urge to leave. The overwhelming sense of intrusion. Many researchers believe that this is how a large apex predator warns intruders away, through subtle intimidation rather than confrontation. I considered other explanations, of course. Devon has long-standing reports of so-called alien big cats, large leopard or puma-like creatures seen crossing rural roads. One had even been spotted only a couple of miles from that forest. It's entirely possible I wandered into the territory of something like that. But this felt different. More deliberate, more intelligent, as though something had assessed me and dismissed me. It's been nearly 30 years now. I've often thought about returning, this time armed with knowledge, looking for stick structures, nests, prints, signs of habitation that I wouldn't have recognised as a teenager. Because if that forest was, or still is, home to something unusual, I'd like to know. And I have since had a much closer, far more direct encounter with what I believe to be the British Bigfoot. But that story is for another time.